Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another episode of Ear to Ear Podcast with C. Ray and Lanny Moe. I am C. Ray, and that lovable bunch of man on the other side of the screen here is Lanny Moe. Lanny Moe, how you doing tonight, man?
Good, my man. How are you?
Dude, it's another weekend in paradise on top of the mountain. Exciting weekend, though. Looks like it's going to be some interesting stuff to go in on. I guess we want to get started with some WVU sports, outside of football. Football season, regular season ended for us last week. I want to start with the women's basketball, man. Staying perfect again, moving to 7-0, beat St. Bonaventure 90-50, dude. What a thrashing. I mean, those girls are killing it this year, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely.
Love it. Soccer team, big congrats to the soccer team, right? Moving on to, I guess, what's soccer's version of the Final Four. They call the College Cup. Got Clemson in the first round here this week. Good on them, really making some strides there. I'm starting to think maybe we should take some money from other sports and give it to the soccer team, man. They're accomplishing real stuff.
Hope we score 70.
Hey, I was telling people our football team was going to be good this year. I wasn't talking about Football Day North Americana. I was talking about football, okay? They're killing it this year. So big shout out to those guys. Glad that they're making strides for the university. Man, I don't know where to start other than it is officially bowl season. WVU got invited to the Duke's Mayo Bowl against UNC. What do you think about that? First off, I want to point out this graphic here. One of our new Twitter followers, at Cooper_22. Thank you for the graphic, man. Really cool graphic, looks great. Glad he let us use it. But as far as our first bit of bowl news goes, we will be playing UNC on December 27th. Lanny, let's start with that. What do you think?
Love it. I absolutely love it. UNC, I don't know too much about them. I just know they started off screaming hot, made up like top 10, and then they took a couple L's, and then they ended the season with a couple more L's. I think they finished 8-4 overall. They got a quarterback that's going to be top 5 quarterback coming out. Probably won't play against us. They got a linebacker that's supposed to be a first-round pick. Probably won't play. They're probably going to set that out. That's what they do now. I think it's garbage. You play your season with your team, and you see it through. But I honestly never saw the Duke Bowl even being the Mayo Bowl even being in our realm of bowl games. But something happened with other conferences, this and that. West Virginia got the call, so step up and let's throw some Mayo all over Charlotte down there.
Oh my God, dude, Mayo all over everything. I just can't get over I can't get over the fact that the coach that wins the Mayo Bowl gets covered in mayo. Like, you would have to take a bath in gasoline to get that crap off of you after that, man. That's mind-boggling to me.
So, people always joke around about the Clorox toilet bowl or something. This here, I am a mayo connoisseur, and
here we go.
Never had Duke's. So maybe you can enlighten me on let's go Duke's Mayo for a minute.
Okay, all right. Well, I have had Duke's a few times. I like it. It's got, in my opinion, I don't see a big difference between Hellman's and Duke's, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going to, this is going to get out here, and this is what's finally going to get us out on the big. This is our breakout moment where everybody's going to know about our podcast, because they're like, this idiot says there's no difference between Duke's and Hellman's, because I have a lot of friends that have had it. Apparently, there's something different in the ingredients. It's supposed to be a little bit spicier, and I don't mean like hot. I mean just like a different taste. But me personally, can't tell the difference. Sorry.
I think I might know what it is. Duke's uses organic eggs. That's what it is. It's something different about the eggs.
Is that what it is? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Well, I'm a guy, when I make my sandwich, if I put the mayo on the bread. If you go mayo on cheese or mayo on meat, you're a serial killer. You got to straight up. You got to go on the bottom and the top and mash it together.
No, that's right.
That's the only way to put mayo on.
That's the only way to make a sandwich, man. If you got to put it on both sides, and you lay those sides on the counter, and you build your sandwich, and then you top it with your other one, and then you eat. Eat it. That's correct. Yeah. I mean, from what you're saying, Lanny, in my opinion, putting mayo on cheese or your meat, other than your bread, is the equivalent of putting milk in the bowl and then putting cereal in the bowl.
That's a serial killer.
That's a serial killer. That is a psychopath. And if you know anybody that does that, you need to cut ties with them and move on immediately because you don't want to be around that person.
Who puts milk, like you said, in the bowl first and then put your cereal on, you deserve a life sentence somewhere locked away.
Man, who does that? And if you guys know of anybody out there that does that, please tell us who. I would like to know if anybody actually knows anyone that puts the cereal in first because that is just a little on the outside of the realm of normal. Now, let's.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's talk about this bowl game.
Let's move on to, let's move on to the bowl game here. Me personally, so, we'll take a look at their schedule. You were right. Started out screaming hot. I don't really see anything here that really is outside the realm of anything we accomplished. They finished 8-4, just like we finished 8-4. We actually finished higher in our conference than they did. I think they finished somewhere around 6th. The one common opponent we have is Pitt, which they beat, a little bit better than we did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Miami, good win for them. They did beat their rival Duke, lost to Clemson and NC State. So honestly, if you're asking me, it's a lot like us. They kind of beat the people they were supposed to beat, lost the games they were expected to lose.
They lost to a bad Virginia team and not a very good Georgia Tech team. Things that I've looked up a little bit, they are not good on defense. They give up a lot of yards on the ground, and a lot of teams have been able to run the ball. Not even good teams that have the rushing standpoints that West Virginia does, but they give up some ground yardage. So I just anticipate them getting a heavy dose of our guys is running up them.
Well, a heavy dose of the freshman phenom, Jaheim White, dude. Did you see all the stuff where he ended this year? I mean, just one of the top freshmen in the country in rushing. Phenomenal finish to the year for him, man. I love the kid. Like I said last week, if we do not do anything necessary to keep him on in Morgantown next year, shame on us. He, I think, is going to be huge for us. So I kind of agree. I think we're going to have a good run game, good run day. Maybe Green hits a couple slants, couple bombs to keep the defense honest. I think it's a very winnable bowl for us. It's a very
and it shuts some people up a little bit as far as like you ain't beat nobody or you ain't played nobody or you're from a weak ass garbage ACC conference that can't even get somebody who's undefeated in the college football playoff.
Oh, don't. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta open up Pandora's box like that?
Hey, I seen it on the
God bless. Here we go.
Facts don't lie. They're not in. But
it's ridiculous. Well, okay.
Hey, the Big 12, as much as I hate Texas, I was so happy to see them get into the college football playoff. That's just more money that West Virginia is going to milk out of them before they take off to the to the SEC.
Milk a Longhorn.
Yeah. So just one of those things that hey, at least we get a little bit of that money from we had at least one team make the college football playoff. So,
well, speaking of the college football playoff, in case you've been living under a rock all day, here's what ended up being the Final Four. Michigan makes perfect sense. Undefeated, won the conference. Washington makes perfect sense. Undefeated, won the conference. Florida State, undefeated, won the conference. Oh, sorry, they don't make the cut. Now, you got to get the hell out of here with that noise, okay? I'm sorry. I know Bama's Bama. Bama's Bama. We all know Bama. I don't care what conference you're in, okay? As far as Power 5 goes. Like I'm not advocating for Liberty to be in the college football playoff because let's be honest. But the chair for the college football committee, playoff committee, whatever they call themselves now, comes out and basically comes out and says, well, the reason we didn't put Florida State in there was because their starting quarterback got injured. I'm sorry. Was it not like 3 or 4 years ago when Ohio State went to the playoffs with their third string quarterback? So you can get the hell out of here with that excuse, okay? Undefeated and won their conference, all right? Bama wins their conference. Good on them. Knock Georgia out. Makes perfect sense, okay? Right? Texas, 1 loss, wins their conference. You have 2 teams, both won their conference, both have the same record, and it just so happens that these 2 teams played each other in the same year. Gee, if only there was a way to figure out who would be more deserving to be in the college football playoff. Well, Texas beat Alabama. Well, then there's your freaking answer. Florida State got snubbed. They got screwed. They got screwed hard. The college football committee, playoff committee broke one off in them. And I don't blame anybody in Florida State for being pissed about it.
Are you done?
For now.
Okay. This is what they took. The winner of the SEC, winner of the Pac-10, Pac-12, winner of the Big Ten, and winner of the Big 12. They took winners. Florida State was the 5th winner, and
Florida State was a winner. What's better, Lanny? 13-0 or 12-1? What's a better record? 13-0 or 12-1?
I'm not saying they didn't win, but they were the 5th winner. And there's only 4. So you pick the worst conference, ACC. Sorry. Simple as that. That's what they did.
No, that's ridiculous. There's no reason. The only reason they were the 5th winner is because they were the 5th game played, and they were the last game to end. That's the only damn reason for it. It boggles my mind that these guys want to sit there and preach about. Let me tell you something. If the SEC bias here is mind-numbing to me. They move the goalposts every year of what a criteria is to make it into the playoffs to fit whatever we can do to make sure that Alabama or Georgia or some other SEC team gets in. They couldn't give a shit else about any other team or any otC conference as long as the SEC's in there with at least one.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, if they could have put 2 SEC teams in there, they would have. They truly would have.
I'm surprised they didn't.
Well, it's one of those. Well, it has, to me, this is just me speaking. Attack me, but it's one of those. Florida State didn't beat nobody. Their conference, as far as who they beat up in their conference, you didn't play nobody. To be in the final 4 teams, at least the SEC champ, you had to beat. Alabama beat the number 1 team, Georgia. I mean, facts, it is what it is.
Only implication.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The only implication that game should have had on the college football playoff was, hey, if Bama wins this game, then Georgia's out. That should have been the only implication. Alabama should not be. I'm sorry. I'm a fan of Nick Saban. He's a West Virginia homeboy. What he has done at Alabama is freaking crazy. But I'm sorry. You beat Georgia and knocked them out. You won your conference. Good for you. But hey, your head-to-head with Texas should have been the reason that you are sitting at home waiting on New Year's Six Bowl. Now, as much as I dislike it, can give credence to the fact that, okay, yeah, Florida State didn't play quite as difficult a schedule as any of the other 4 that are in there. However, if that's your reasoning and that's what the playoff committee is going to say, then that's what they need to say when you're getting interviewed. You don't blame that crap on a quarterback that broke his leg, to where the kid goes to Twitter. Did you see the tweet from this kid?
No, I didn't.
He goes to Twitter and basically says, what's Jordan Travis, right? His name? Is that right? Goes to Twitter and says, I wish I would have broken my leg earlier in the season. That way the playoff committee would have seen that it's a team sport and not just about me. How ridiculous is that a kid goes to Twitter to say that? It's about the freaking team. What one player? What other sport in the world? Could you imagine looking at the New England Patriots and saying, well, guys, you went undefeated this year. You won the conference, but we're not going to send you to the Super Bowl because, hey, we like this team better. They played a slightly harder schedule than you. Get the hell out of here, man.
I don't know. This
is a hot button issue for me.
Came in 2014. It was a mess. And when it goes out this year in 23, it's a mess. Next year, guess what? Next year they're taking 12.
Yeah, they're taking 12, and I look forward to seeing 8 SEC teams play plus the 4 other Power 4 champions. I do look forward to that. Yeah,
but there's going to be the number 13 team or 14 team saying, "Here we are with 3 losses. We should be in." I don't know. I wish I knew what the answers to this, but I love bitching about it. You know,
I do too, man. I love just letting it fly. But here's the thing: when it comes down to the 13th place team in the country isn't going to be undefeated and win their conference. No conference winner next year is going to get shut out. Possibly. Now, here's something I could see happening. Let's say WVU and Oklahoma State play for the Big 12 championship next year. All right. Let's say we happen to go 10-2, and Oklahoma State goes 11-1. We play for the conference championship, and Oklahoma State beats us. So they're a conference winner, and they get locked in.
Right.
We lost the conference. Are we going to get shafted and not get in because we lost the conference and in the third place?
Because then we're a team with 3 losses.
Then you're a team with 3 losses.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
So does a team? Okay, so let me throw another wrench in that. Let me expand on the hypothetical here. We're 10-2, and TCU's 10-2. We have the head-to-head over TCU, so we get the conference championship game.
Well, not even that. There's a chance that we don't play TCU, have the same record in the same conference, and they take them over us. You know, so
and that's what I'm getting to.
Brain tire or something. You know,
yeah.
But Georgia, think of anybody who has a bitch and a gripe. It's Georgia, because here you are. You lost a close game against Alabama, and then your one loss pops you to the 5th place or sixth place.
6th place, yeah.
To the 6th place. You've lost one game to a team that's in a Final Four, and you're 6th now.
Well, and also I can say not only have you lost one game this year, but that's like the first game in the last 30 that they lost.
Dude, first loss they've had in 30 games.
Okay, I mean that's a good point, but I don't know. You win the conference, you're undefeated. I don't see how you get snubbed all because Alabama beat Georgia. I get it; they beat the number 1 team. They're playing in the hardest conference and the hardest division and the hardest conference of football. Yeah, I get it. I also think if you're going to keep Florida State out, you don't blame it on the kid that got injured.
No, that's wrong. And I really don't think they meant it that way. But it probably did come off that way, but you know, it's one of those. But Florida State, I'm glad that they're not in it. Personally, me saying, because no matter who plays them is going to wax them.
Well,
Georgia just got a free trip to a bowl game because they don't even got to prepare for Florida State.
Man, I'll say this, and this kind of goes against everything I've just spent the last 8 minutes complaining about. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a waxing. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I don't think Florida State wins. I don't think Florida State wins, but it is not going to be a repeat of Georgia versus TCU last year. I really don't think it's going to be a waxing.
That was an absolute murder scene. But
that was over in the first quarter.
I think Georgia beats Florida State like 42-10.
42-10.
Florida State might not score.
They'll score.
They might not score because Louisville, you want to talk about a team with no pulse? The winner of the ACC but came down between those two, and I get Florida State's hurt, banged up, quarterback out, 2nd string out, 3rd string, you know, he just got a playbook on Tuesday. Yeah, I totally get that. Louisville looked god awful.
They look bad. Did you watch any of the game? Did you watch any of the second half? Did you get to watch any of it? Did you see the failed punt attempt by Florida State? And Louisville gets the ball on the 12-yard line. And I'm thinking, oh man, Louisville's going to come back and win this. Like, okay, well, if Louisville comes back and win this, then they definitely ain't making it into the playoffs. And they can't score. They didn't score anything. He threw a pick in the end zone. You didn't even get 3 points off of getting the ball on the 12-yard line from a failed punt attempt from Florida State. I mean, wow.
I'm watching the Michigan game. I think Iowa could have had the ball at the 1-yard line. Their offense was so bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is going to be a war with Michigan and Bama, that's going to be a damn good game. And Texas and Washington, dude, there might be 100 damn points scored in that one.
Yeah, that's going to be. I think that is going to be a high octane.
Yeah,
that's going to be a high octane offensive game. And speaking of Michigan, something else. It's the last thing we'll say about Florida State, and I'm done with it.
Okay,
it's over and done. Nothing we can do about this is the last thing I'm going to say. I don't remember which expert it was out there. Some expert out there was dogging Florida State for not having a quarterback and having to rely on tough defense and a hard running game. That's what Michigan does every week. Tell me the bias for the Big Ten and the SEC isn't there without telling me the bias and the bias for the SEC and the Big Ten isn't there. It's bullcrap that you're going to sit here and say, well, part of the reason we kept them out is not only because he got hurt. Well, they don't have a quarterback, and they went undefeated and won their conference, but all they have is hard defense and a good running game. And Michigan's up here saying our quarterback sucks, but that hard defense and that running back game really got us in.
Oh,
hell out of here, man! They play the same.
Michigan quarterback gets down. He completes
down. I mean, he doesn't suck, but come on, they're relying on defense and running game more than they are him.
They do. But Michigan, the whole team is they're good. They are very, very good.
So it's Florida State's whole team.
That's my national champion.
Michigan.
Yes.
Oh man, I bet Big T likes to hear you say that.
I'm all over Michigan. I'm all over them. Because when it comes time to when they get to turnover, they run over and put on the shades. And I like their whole Jim Harbaugh. Whether the whole coaching mess with if you're stealing signs and getting caught, whatever happened, it's a mess. And I guess I'm just a mess. I don't know, but I like Michigan to win it all.
You're a mess, Lanny. I'll give you that, but I still love you anyway, brother. Let's get off this carousel of Florida State getting screwed in the hind end and do what?
Just here we go. So got my my buddy ordered tickets, and the Hillbilly Highway will be running 77 South.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to go to Charlotte. I wasn't going to Texas for a bowl game. I got family in Orlando. I was hoping and praying for Orlando. I might have went to Memphis. But man, I'm really pumped to go to Charlotte. For me, it's 7 hours. Basically I can get down there I only have to get gas one time and stop over Princeton, fill up, and just head on down. But it's gonna be interesting. It's the Brown Bowl. Did you think about that?
The Brown Bowl.
Yeah. Mac Brown, Neil Brown, the Brown Bowl.
Well,
yeah.
I just hope we win the Brown Bowl. I forgot about that. It is Mac Brown. I'm a big fan of Charlotte too. I'm down there a fair amount for work. Got some family down there, and unfortunately, I will not be attending because the wife is going to be dragging me on vacation for a nice little Christmas vacation we're going on outside the country. So, wish I could be there, which really stinks because living here in Charleston, man, it's only 4-hour drive for me. You know, so it's like a same day drive if I really want it to be. So, but hey, you know what? I'm glad we got a bowl. I'm glad we got a chance, a very good chance, in my opinion, to get 9 wins this year. And I did say I would support Neil if he got 8 regular season wins, and he got 8 regular season wins. So I guess I'm not climbing, but I'm at least like, hey, all right, let's see what happens next year.
I love and hate at the same time where Ren Baker says, we're going to retain him like you had a choice.
You didn't have a choice because Jimbo wants to take a year off.
Like you weren't going to retain Neil Brown. So let's be real. I mean, we all knew he was coming back.
Yeah, we all knew, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's move on to the basketball team here, man. Let's the basketball guys, they went out, played a pretty good St. John's team this week. Sorry, guys. Man,
okay. Yep.
I gotta say, You know, I got all these people screaming that Josh Eilhart. How do you say his last name?
I alert.
Eilert.
Alert.
Okay. A lot of these people out here saying that Eilert's not the guy. You know, he's just a fill-in, and maybe that's true. Maybe he is a fill-in. I still think the team finishes one game above 500 this year. One game above 500, okay? But let's look at what we've done so far. They played a ranked Virginia team, lost in the final seconds, and you have to think, man, the biggest thing that's killing us right now is not Eilert and his coaching. It's we don't have guys.
No.
You know, I think the coaching's fine. I think the farther the season marches on, we see more. I personally think you see more of what he's capable of as a coach coming out. But man, you take the St. John's game, we were with those guys. We were winning. We were tied. We were down a couple points. It was back and forth. And then at the end of the game, man, the last few minutes, we just kind of fall apart. We're getting tired. You know, we don't have the guys to just carry on. I think if we had those 2 or 3 extra guys, I think we would be looking at a different season than we're going to be looking at.
Well, and we got into foul trouble. So he had to watch, you know, who he had in the games. I mean, you only got 6 or 3 to choose from. But it's like, but you know, you're talking management of time. If guys have foul trouble, you do not have a guy that can get you a bucket when you need a bucket.
I think we do, but the only guy we have that can do that right now is double teamed every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is don't make open shots.
Yeah.
I truly thought Eilert was going to run some new type of offense where they got up and down the court and try to score 100 like Alabama does, just run and gun. And their offense, man, is like watching paint dry. I mean, while West Virginia's on offense, they could be changing the darn hoop on the other end because that's much time. It's just it's like a running mix, and it's bad. It is so bad. It's almost like watching them play like back in the day. What's that, 4 square or whatever?
4 square, four corners.
Yeah, like a 4 offense.
Yeah.
That's what West Virginia, if you're going to do that, you better play damn good defense because you just can't score. Take the under on any W basketball game because the first one to score 65 is probably going to win. It's like watching 3rd and 4th grade basketball, the first one to score 10, you know? And but it's just they just don't have, you're 1,000% right. They don't have the guys.
Yeah.
They don't. And I think they'll be getting the guy Kursa. They'll be getting him. Battle is they're calling the Surgeon General on West Virginia to try to get him through the NCAA clearinghouse, which makes I don't understand what the hell's going on with that, because you got this guy that transferred 17 times that's going to be playing for Tulsa, and yet you know here he is losing two head coaches in 2 years, and they still won't okay him to play, you know.
Well, I think a lot of that is the NCAA, I feel, is a lot like the college football playoff committee. They move the goalposts to fit whatever narrative they want to fit. Okay, so that's
when going to come along when there's going to be like 10 or 12 really good schools, like Notre Dame, for example, Texas, for example, Kansas, for example. That's Duke. Let's throw in USC out west, Stanford out west. That when's these schools, like the bigger programs, come in and say, what does the NCAA do for us? We're out.
Well,
because I don't know what the NCAA does for any of the schools that are part of them.
The problem is the problem is all the teams you just named are the teams that the NCAA works for. They're the teams that will push Raekwon. You know, if Raekwon Battle was over at Kansas right now, I guarantee he's on the floor already. If he was at Duke or UNC, that kid's playing right now. You know, you got to look at this from the other teams in the country that the NCAA just doesn't seem to really, I don't know, want to act fairly toward. I've yet to see how this situation with Battle what they've done to him is fair. When you look at some of the other reasons that some of these kids transfer and get a waiver to play, and with a lot of the stuff that this kid's been through with the coaches and some of the personal stuff that he's had to go through, and you're telling the kid that that's not a good enough reason, I don't know, man. But I don't know. The teams you just mentioned are teams that have the favoritism with the NCAA. So to them, why do they want to leave the NCAA? Because it works for them.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. It's way over my Mon County education.
No, that's fair, man. That's fair. It's way above our pay level. That is for damn sure. But I don't know. Lane, you got any coaching carousel news? You hearing out there? You know a few people. You got some rumors out there. You got anything good for the coaching carousel for football?
Named Fritz at Tulane. Rumor has it that he's taking the Houston job. I guess they asked him. Of course, he's got a Tulane shirt on. Just got a paycheck for Tulane. Said we're coaching, Tulane except whatever bowl game they're going to, and he said, "I don't know nothing about that." I don't. My thing is just be upfront. These coaches drive me batshit crazy when they go, "Nope, I signed my car. I'm going to be here." Next thing you know, man, they're standing in front of a backdrop at their new school 3 days later.
Yeah, the backdrop and the podium, giving the speech for the new coaching position.
I'm so happy to be the 38th coach here. Just
hey.
why are you lying? Just say, hey, so and so's I'd rather not talk about what's going on right now. I want to coach my team or whatever. And it's horseshit that a coach leaves his team before their season's over. You should not be able, if right now Neal Brown is in bowl prep, I'm telling you right now, he's probably going to be in bowl prep tomorrow morning. And no school should be able to contact that coach until their final game is over for the year, including the bowl game, which is a pain in the ass. I know, because Houston already got rid of their coach, and they want to go after somebody else before somebody else gets them. But or a team that, guess what? If your team's not making a bowl game, you're not losing that coach anyway. but it's one of those things where, say Neal Brown plays December 27th, and they want Neal, but another team played October 25th, and that's their second choice. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So wait until Neal's done. That's because it's if you got a number one pick, like you, for example, want Jimbo. Okay. But I want Rich Rod. Just throwing this out there. And say Jimbo's your guy. Well, you're not going to contact Rich Rod and say, "You're my number two." If Jimbo doesn't take it, and you're not going to contact Jimbo and say, "You got to make a decision right now this second," because their bowl game's not over yet. It's a shit show. The whole thing's a mess, but it's still one of those. There's just too much. Don't hide. Just be straight up with your players or straight up with your assistants. And, to hell with the fan base. Half of us don't matter anyway. It's just our damn opinions.
Hey,
but go ahead.
Fan base brings up something that brings up a good topic I want to ask about real quick. Did you see the way the Coliseum was emptying when there was 20 seconds left in the game against St. John's?
Every week.
It is crap. It is crap to me.
It's garbage.
It shows no support for the program or the coach. Excuse me.
Whenever I go, every time, whether we lose by 30 or we win by 20, which don't happen often, but it's still yet to. I tell my buddy that I took to the game, I said, watch this place with about 2 minutes left in a 2-point ball game. It's going to be like somebody pulled the fire alarm. We're going to run a fire drill. They literally have jackets on, 2 minutes left, and they're exiting the building. We do the same thing at football games. People leave in the middle of the third quarter, whether we're winning, whether losing. And then especially if we're losing, they'll stick around the last 3 minutes. And what the hell are you going to do? What are you trying? You trying to beat people out of Star City on traffic?
Yeah.
But it's awful. And I love, dude, I'm diehard West Virginia, diehard for our fan base. Love being in West Virginia, born and raised. But we, as a fan group, is 40% of us is trash. Fans. And and tell me you're not. You might buy all the West Virginia stuff and get the West Virginia tattoos and everything else, but your ass leaves, and the players see your ass taking lefts and right up the steps.
Yep.
And, so then, but you're the first one to say, well, I was there for this game or I was there for that game or whatever. Yeah, when your ass left.
Yep. Dude, I've sat in the stadium during some ass thrashings, and I've sat in the Coliseum during some bad games, man. But I never leave.
Hey,
I never leave.
The ticket, stay, please. As a fan, stay. Let them, and you can bitch about them on the way home or through the parking lot while you're walking down to Chick-fil-A after the game, But
yeah, I love me some Chick-fil-A.
Oh, God's chicken, son.
Oh, damn. Ain't put mayonnaise on that shit.
Top and bottom.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I have to go in on our fans because, yes, we do support our boys and girls of different sports and everything. And, we do show up most of the time, but we leave early most of the time too. Stick around, sit back, listen to the coach after the game on his press conference there. And, it's fun to root and cheer and bitch and complain and cry and spend your hard-earned money on them. But it's like, hang out, stay for the entirety of the game. That's my thing.
Yeah. No, I'm there with you, man. But, well, hey, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Hey, you know what? We've had our Twitter page for about a week now, and we got more followers than I thought we'd get in the first week.
Yeah.
It's really cool. We're out there trying to get involved on Twitter and get people to see this thing. We hope you guys like what we're putting out. But you know the drill. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Spread the word.
Please do.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun doing this, and it's like we said in the beginning. Who knows who's going to see it? But we hope you guys that are watching it, we hope you're liking it. If you got some suggestions, put it in the comment box. Maybe don't cuss us out, but maybe put some things you think you'd like to hear or see. But with that being said, hope you guys have a good week. Wednesday at 9 a.m. Everybody have a good week.
Hope we left you smiling ear to ear. Let's go.